Hey, this is Al McGhee with WhyYouTicket.com. Well, I'm here with my buddy Stephen Lebowitz. And who do you write for, Stephen?
I write for ScreenQueen.com as the movie night.
All right, great. Man, well, we're going to talk about Wonder Woman 84. Well, we're going to
1984.
review it, tear it apart, take it apart, or whatever we're going to do. Well, this is Wonder Woman 84, and this is the second one. And, it starts off 70 years after the first Wonder Woman in 1984, and she lives in Washington, D.C. What I mean by she, Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, she lives in D.C., and she's an archaeologist. She works for the state, I'm assuming, the government.
She works at the Smithsonian.
Yeah. Well, isn't that part of the government?
To tell you the truth, Al, I don't know. I'm a movie critic, not a world, a government guy.
Yeah, right. Me either. Me either. But anyway, so we see her at the beginning. She's as the little kid. She's in her home, Themyscira, and shows as a little girl, she's competing, blah blah blah. Then her mama tells her, "Oh, the truth is important," and things like that. And she tells her all of that. And then next thing you know, we see her in Washington, D.C. And, but they show her, getting some local bandits and arresting people like that. But she's so lonely, she misses Steve, which is played by Chris Pines.
Right, who died at the end of the first, who just, people don't remember, he died spoiler, he died at the end of the first movie. He sacrificed himself.
Yeah, sacrifice. So, yeah, I think people saw the first one. They know that. Yeah. And, but she's also working there with, she meets this young lady named Barbara, played by Kristen Wiig.
Yes.
And now they got to work together on identifying some objects that these robbers tried to take. And one of those objects or artifacts was called the Wishing Stone. And, of course, Wonder Woman, she saw that was the language of the god inside of it.
Right.
She makes a wish herself. She wishes that Steve was back in her life, and it happens. But her friend, she wished
Barbara.
she was Diana.
It was like Diana, yes.
Yeah, so we'll take it from there. So go ahead.
Well, also, let's forget, this con artist, like oil winner guy named Maxwell Lord also has interest in the stone. He has more nefarious thoughts because he actually knows what the stone really represents that the girls don't.
Yeah,
so
right.
Let's not leave him out too.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna leave him out. And in fact, he's running a Ponzi scheme, and yep. he's a hustler and things like that. But he's getting ready to go broke. But all of a sudden, that wishing stone lands in his hands. And right. This is where all the chaos starts, when he becomes the Wishing Stone. And then he becomes the Wishing Stone. And again, like I say, it causes a lot of chaos throughout the world, the financial world, political world, and with other countries and things like that. Yeah. And so, I thought that Pedro Pascal as the husker, the Ponzi scheme maker, I thought he was very good in this film.
Oh, all the actors are good, no question. That's not even a question there. So yes, and Chris Pine and Gal Gadot, who plays Wonder Woman, has had excellent chemistry in the first movie, and they have great chemistry again here. And it has this little subplot of like a fish out of water thing for Chris Pine's character, because the last thing he remembers is he was in 1918, and now he's in 1984. So, and unfortunately, he is not ready for all the bizarre hairstyles and clothing,
fanny packs, and all those things, parachute pants, and
so it's a lot of there's a lot of fun sequences between them as he gets to really know this new world.
Yeah, but you're right. There was a few fun sequences with them together, but I felt that his character really slowed the movie down somewhat.
And this movie's 2.5 hours long. And it is too long, Al. This movie does drag along a lot. You feel as if taking this, it's not really, it didn't move the way the first movie did. It doesn't really move the way a lot of comic book movies do.
Right, right.
They do work a lot on really developing the two villains here. A lot of times, like a comic book movie villain, it might be one or two dimensional at best. Here, they really are working to really fully develop those
Right, right.
characters. But again, I think they spend maybe almost too much time doing it. It's almost like bang you over the head trying to say, hey, we're really developing these characters so you get to know them, so you can identify with them, which is a good thing. But at the same time, it does come at the expense of the movie itself, and to help, and there's not a lot of the action sequences are just not as like.
Yeah, they didn't work a lot on the action sequences for me. I mean, we did get to know about Max. We get to learn about his upbringing. We get to learn about his family and things like that, why he's doing the things that he was doing in this film. But right, the action was not that great for me. And really, there was not really any real action criminals to really fight. Yeah, there was only one, and that was the cheetah.
Right. And it's strange because I mean the opening sequence when she's on the island by herself, it was fun, but not exciting enough to bring you in. And then we see her in the mall fighting some criminals, and we see, the mall sequence is sort of in. We see any trails or commercials, you see the mall, and again that didn't really bring you in. It wasn't a great action sequence. A lot of times she's just swooping in, moving kids out of the way before they get crushed by something, much like you see in the Spider-Man movies. And
Right.
another big action piece that you see in the commercials is her, fighting off, working, excuse me, this convoy in the desert, and even that sequence just wasn't exciting as
It
like you
sure
hoped it
wasn't.
would be.
Not for a Wonder Woman.
No, not for Wonder Woman. And I went in this movie, Gal, because the whole year has been topsy turvy. There really hasn't been a comic book movie since February when Birds of Prey Harley Quinn came out. The whole year has been devoid of superhero movies because those are big franchise movies that the studios decided to like mostly push off to 2021. But Warner Brothers decided to say, okay, you know what, we're going to give a Christmas gift to the fans, and on Christmas Day you're getting Wonder Woman both in theaters and on HBO Max. So I came in this. I love the first one, and I came in this movie so excited to see it.
So did I.
But I did walk away disappointed.
I walked away disappointed also because, but again, what was I expecting? Well, I was expecting you're right, like the sequences of comic books, and I was also expecting a lot of action. But also, I was expecting Wonder Woman to be Wonder Woman, not a woman. And what I mean by that is, here you got Diana. She's really pining because she's lonely. She wants to be in love. She missed her love, and she doesn't want to be alone. And now we got a woman, but not Wonder Woman in this film.
I see that point, and I agree with it, and on some extent. But I guess it was trying to show that she has, vulnerabilities like anyone else, and Steve was.
You mean emotional vulnerabilities?
Right. So I know I understood that part of it, and maybe part of that also came from this wish that came true that she never expected. So she did just sort of was living her life, accepting what it was, and when this great gift came along, it was such a surprise and shock. How can you have this great gift given to you and then be expected to give it up?
Yeah, exactly. And also, I feel that the director, Patty Jenkins, I felt that she's a little bit over her head with this script. Even though she helped write the script, I felt that she was a little bit over her head with this script as a director because it was kind of hard to focus on what direction they wanted to go into with this film. And then probably when they got into the editing room, they probably found the right storyline. But I still think the director was a little bit over her head with the storyline and the actors and things like that with this particular script, Wonder Woman 1984.
Well, I don't know about over her head as far as directing. Maybe the script maybe had problems. I mean, if anything, they should have had stuff edited out to make this film, maybe, if anything, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes instead of 2 hours, 30 minutes. I mean, 15 minutes probably would have made this movie go down like much smoother, much faster. I mean, we talk about the action sequences and the ones between Wonder Woman and Cheetah. are some of the better scenes in the movie.
Yeah, but I really didn't get a chance to see Cheetah that much in that action scene. I wanted to see much more of Cheetah. And then also I wanted to see the real power of Cheetah, but I did not. It didn't show me why and how she matched up against Wonder Woman. It really didn't show me that with Cheetah.
Well,
and it was blurry too, because they were underwater a lot.
Right, it was at night, so you didn't really see her in all her glory like you might want to, especially if have her exposed in some daylight or something. And it's and you would have liked to see more of her that way, because she slowly develops into this other character. When we first meet Barbara, she's this like sort of meeky, mousy kind of girl that most men just ignore, and then she becomes more confident as she gets her strength and finds out who she is. And finds that she can actually take on Wonder Woman one-on-one.
But that's the problem that I had with those action scenes with Cheetah. And then again, the other problems that I had too. This is 1984. There was no 80s music in this film whatsoever.
Yeah, it's true. It wasn't. I mean, you see old arcades and the malls and the colors and so on. But you know what? You're right. There was no 80s music. I just realized that. Good point.
None whatsoever. I mean, they could have had at least 2 or 3 movie drop-ins in this film, but they didn't have any.
I think I heard something. Might have heard like some Duran Duran in the way background a little bit, but not so much that I have to really recall it. So that's a good point too.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry, but one thing that's very interesting about the Wonder Woman movies, Wonder Woman's been in 4 movies now. Her 2 movies, the Batman vs Superman movie and Justice League. And so far in all 4 movies, she has not once ever been referred to or actually called Wonder Woman.
Oh, you know what? I never realized that.
Yep, she's always just Diana. I mean, it's almost like the Wolverine movie Logan. Instead of calling it Wonder Woman, she just called it Diana.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and even Cheetah's not even called Cheetah, so it's just...
not at all. We know her as Cheetah. We
know she's Cheetah, but she's never called that, and I said it's just also interesting that Wonder Woman...
Because really only one person saw her as Cheetah anyway. That was Diana, Wonder Woman.
Right, but maybe if she says there's a scene when she's like, "Oh, Barbara, what did you do?" and she could say maybe, "No, I'm not Barbara anymore. I'm Cheetah," which might be a cheesy line, but at least you hear the name.
Right. We didn't even hear that. Well, anyway, what you gonna give this a score, a rating, anything like? What are you gonna give us?
2 palm trees, Al. Only 2.
Out of 4.
Out of 4.
Me too. 2 out of 4. I gave it a C grade. 2 stars out of 4, whatever people want to take.
Well, on our side, we give it tiaras.
How many tiaras would you give it?
No, I said 2 tiaras out of 4.
Oh, I'll tell you. I mean, but people still will enjoy this film.
Oh yeah, there's some nice. I mean, for Wonder Woman fans, there's some nice Easter eggs. Without giving any spoilers, there is a mid-credit sequence fans will like. But overall, I think people are going to come in really wanting to love it. I did, but they're going to walk away like, unsatisfied, unfortunately. And then we just have to hope, 2021, people can start going back to the theaters, movies will start coming out again, and we'll have a better movie year next year.
Well, we hope so, but I don't think so.
We hope so. I said we hope so. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Hey, if I had a crystal ball, I would let you know and then get myself some lotto numbers.
Yeah, right. But you know what? I kind of I kind of enjoy watching these movies now. I have my home. I don't have to travel anywhere.
Oh, I enjoy it too. You and I got to watch this movie in our homes, but I certainly would say, it probably plays better, especially the opening sequence, on a big screen. Like I could see how the cinematography would definitely work on the big screen the way it's meant to be seen, rather than on TVs or computer screens.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with you with that. All right, Stephen, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure, Al.
Always a pleasure to talk to you and also to talk about movies with you.
Yes.
And I want to thank you very much.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest.